with y'all boys? It's GTB Efficiency in the building. I'm finna react to this YouTube video called How El Mencho Was Killed. Cause if y'all do know it, in like Mexico, like recently it's been all hell. It's been straight war. It's been a straight battlefield out there because of a drug lord, cartel member. So yeah, I'm finna react to that right now. And this is by Gabba Fishing. So if y'all wanna show him some love, y'all definitely can. Y'all definitely should. But yeah, let's react to the video.
February 22nd, 2026. Mexico wakes up in total chaos. Highways blocked by burning vehicles, supermarkets set on fire, airports in panic, and flights canceled. At first glance, it seems like the beginning of a civil war. But this wave of simultaneous violence is the desperate reaction to one single piece
smoke
of
is
news.
crazy.
Nemesio Oseguera Cervantes, better known as El Mencho, the leader of the extremely powerful and bloodthirsty Jalisco New Generation cartel, has been killed. After years of a manhunt, the elusive drug lord has met his end. To understand the enormity of what happened in February 2026, we must take a step back and understand who was the man that terrorized an entire nation. Born in 1960,
it's just like Pablo Escobar. That's like the same way he went out when they like chased him down. He won't at his home, but they chased him down on the rooftop and they finished him.
In Michoacan, El Mencho did not love public life and the spotlight like other drug traffickers. He was a ghost, a man who guided his empire from the shadows. In the 80s, at the age of only 19 years old, he was arrested in San Francisco for dealing heroin. After being convicted and subsequently deported from the United States, he even worked as a local police officer before passing definitively.
Working as a police officer is fucking crazy. Like he when he came back to Mexico, he even worked as a police officer. And then he went back to the doing the cartel shit. That's insane. Like Pablo Escobar never. I ain't gonna lie.
To the other side of the barricade. His true rise, however, begins around 2009 when he founds the Jalisco New Generation cartel. The CJNG became, in a few years, the fastest growing criminal organization in the world. In addition to flooding the United States with fentanyl and methamphetamines, the cartel of El Mencho distinguished itself by a disturbing characteristic: its paramilitary power. Explosive drones, rocket launchers, and an unprecedented ferocity that spared neither rivals, nor civilians, nor high state officials.
Okay.
But how do you catch a criminal who has at his disposal a private army? The answer arrived from a fatal mistake exploited by Mexican intelligence in close collaboration with the United States. And, as often happens in the history of great criminal bosses, the weak...
I already know. It's an inside man. That's how it is with every, like, cartel, any drug organization. It's like, any criminal organization, it's always an inside man that's gonna give up the boss and the leader. That's how it always go. The Rico Act shit.
Was his inner circle. The secret agents, monitoring the movements of one of the romantic partners of Oseguera, discover a scheduled meeting in an isolated ranch in the mountains of Tapalpa. It is the opportunity they had been waiting for years. In the hours that precede the dawn of Sunday, February 22nd, the trap is sprung. Special forces and infantry, supported by helicopters, surround the area. But the reception is brutal. The personal guard of El Mencho opens fire with grenade launchers and heavy weapons to cover the escape of the boss, who throws himself desperately into the thick surrounding woods. El Mencho is tracked down among the trees, severely wounded by bullets, together with two of his bodyguards. He is captured alive. The military authorities organize an emergency air transfer towards a hospital in Mexico City, hoping to save him to put him on trial. But it is too late. Nemesio Oseguera Cervantes dies in flight. At 59 years old, the reign of terror
I swear, for a drug kingpin, he lived a long-ass life, though. I ain't gonna lie. Damn.
Closes. But such a rapid, lethal, and ruthless rise could not pass unnoticed beyond the border. For the United States, the Jalisco cartel was not only a criminal...
Why is his skin fucking orange every time I see it? It get Tanner and Tanner. This shit is weird.
But a true and proper threat to national security. The American Anti-Drug Agency considered El Mencho the #1 responsible for the fentanyl epidemic, the synthetic drug that was literally devastating the streets and cities of the United States. For this reason,
I ain't gonna lie, fuck this dude, cause he was selling the fentanyl and shit to, like, you know, people in America, and our people got on that shit. And I don't play it. Well, my people got on that shit, and I don't play it about my people. So I ain't gonna lie, fuck this dude anyway.
Ted was placed one of the highest bounties ever offered in the history of crime, $15 million. Behind the scenes, the political pressure of Washington on the Mexican government had become unsustainable. American intelligence started to weave an invisible net, intercepting encrypted communications and employing high-altitude surveillance drones. Without this massive technological support, and without the continuous tip-offs from the United States, finding the ghost would have been almost impossible. The final objective,
man, put that fist down, man.
Capture him alive.
He don't know shit about a real black fist. He ain't never felt that type of power before. I can bet you that.
Extradite him to bury him in a maximum security prison in Colorado, exactly as had been done with El Chapo. As soon as the news of his death spreads, the CJNG literally unleashes hell. The cartel's protocol is clear: create the most total chaos to terrorize the government and paralyze the army's movements. In a few hours, over 85 narco blockades are registered in 20 different states. Fundamental cities like Guadalajara are completely paralyzed. Prisons are assaulted, including a violent prison break in Puerto Vallarta.
Damn.
Pharmacies and supermarkets are set on fire. The government finds itself forced to deploy a colossal force, over 10,000 troops in a few days to quell the riots,
crazy.
In a true and proper display of military force that costs the lives of dozens of National Guard agents and suspected criminals. The killing of El Mencho is without a doubt a monumental blow. But the bloody history of Mexican drug trafficking teaches a harsh lesson. When you cut the head off the snake, often
it's lit like a blank.
We already saw it in 2016 with the definitive capture of precisely Joaquin El Chapo Guzman. At the time, it was the power vacuum left by the arrest of El Chapo that allowed El Mencho and his newly born Jalisco cartel to expand like wildfire. Today, 10 years later, history risks repeating itself in reverse. The absence of an authoritarian figure like El Mencho will almost certainly trigger a ruthless war of internal succession. But now that the ghost has fallen, who will take his place at the head of the Jalisco new generation?
I mean, he died and shit, but somebody gonna take over. That's how it always go. Somebody always down to take your spot, no matter what position it is.
The answer to this question is the real nightmare of the Mexican government. The natural blood successors, like his son Ruben, known as El Menchito, have already been neutralized for some time and extradited to maximum security prisons in the United States. This leaves the field open to his most ruthless lieutenants. On one side, there is Hugo Gonzalo Mendoza Gaitan, alias El Sapo, a brutal hitman known for having orchestrated the worst massacres of the cartel. On the other, there is the stepson of El Mencho, Juan Carlos Valencia Gonzalez, nicknamed El-03, who commands the highly feared elite assault groups of the organization. Without the authoritarian and centralizing figure of Oseguera to maintain the balance, security experts are certain that the cartel will split. The real carnage that awaits Mexico in the coming weeks will not only be against the forces of the state, but a fierce, ruthless, internal war between these
I wonder how much it would cost just to repair, all of that, you know what I mean, and rebuild shit, like, that's insane.
To conquer the crown and the billions of Jalisco. The fall of El Mencho is a strong symbol, but the empire built by him, made of weapons of war, ruthless control of the territory, and billions
I don't care about that. It's just that fentanyl pushing. I don't fuck with none of that. They can keep that shit in Mexico. I ain't gonna lie to you. But, I don't really, he did his thing, regardless of the other shit. But yeah, he had to pay up for it. Just like, everybody do when you do wrong shit. Like, when you commit crime, you already know what time it is. And he knew. But he lived a long ass life though, 59. Like damn, it's like he was on the last years of his life anyway. So like damn, maybe shit, maybe that's how I want to go out. Nah, but real shit. Let me continue.
Fruit of smuggling will not disappear overnight. We are facing a turning point for the history of Mexico and the global fight against drug trafficking. But according to you, will the...
What the fuck is the street value for all this shit? Cause God. Whew.
We are facing a turning point for the history of Mexico and the global fight against drug trafficking. But according to you, will the death of El Mencho truly mark the end of the Jalisco cartel? Or will it only give start to an even darker and more violent chapter? If you like this video on the fall of El Mencho, on my channel, you can find many other incredible stories, animated in 3D, made of power, geopolitics, and great international...
Okay, little debrief. I mean, it's like it reminds me so much of the Pablo Escobar shit, cause that's exactly how like the FBI squad hunted him down, but it won't in his house. I don't believe so. Maybe it was one of his houses, but yeah, he was on a rooftop and they had chased him down and finished him. But he died instantly, like on the rooftop. This guy actually survived, you know, on the ground, but in a heli. Passed away. So yo, I don't know. It's just like I'm familiar with this already, this type of scenario. But you know, the whole city being lit on fire, like the buses being lit on fire, the explosives is insane to me. Like I don't know how they gonna get that under control. Like what does depth get that under control, or what it cause more? I mean, we have yet to see. I'm pretty sure it's more shit that we don't know about yet anyway. But yeah, I'll get back to y'all